Welcome to Friendly Math 101. Today's lesson is over function notation. Let's start out by describing what function notation is. The way I think about it is function notation is just a way to name a function. That's why it's useful. It's usually used in place of y, so instead of writing y equals, you would write something like f of x equals, and that's how you pronounce f parentheses x. It's called f of x. That's the main way you'll see it, f of x. It could be any letter of x. It really could be anything of x. So this right here can change depending on the function. Usually though, it's f of x. So today we're going to evaluate with function notation. So if you see up here, I have two different functions. I have an f of x function and a g of x function. Again, this could be any letter. So for my f of x function, I have x squared minus 2. My g of x is 1/2 x plus 5. And we're going to evaluate at a certain point. So number 1 says f of 0. Well, the 0 is in place of the x. So that means all we have to do is take the f function, which is this here, and replace 0 for all the x's. So since it's x squared minus 2, it would be 0 squared minus 2. If you plug that into your calculator, you will get your answer of -2. Okay, moving on to number 2. It's g of -4. So the g tells me to use the g function up here, and we're going to plug in -4 to the x, since -4 is in parentheses. So we're going to have 1/2 times -4 plus 5. Plug that into your calculator, and you will get 3 as your answer for that one. Moving on to number 3. Number 3 is g of 16. G tells me to use the g function. 16 is in place of the x, so we plug it in for x. So it's going to be 1/2 times 16 plus 5. Plug that into your calculator, and you should get 13 as your answer there. Okay, number 4 is f of -3. So f is going to be this f function here. Plug in -3 to all the x's. So there's just one there, -3 squared minus 2. Remember, it's important to put the x value in parentheses. So notice how in every single one of these I put that x value that we replaced in parentheses. So we're going to have -3 squared minus 2. That will get us an answer of +7. Okay, that was evaluating given a function, but we can also evaluate given a graph. It's the same concept. Everything that's in parentheses are your x values, and you're just trying to find the y. So this is my function, f of x, we will call it. I've drawn it on the graph there. Number 1 wants to evaluate f of 3. The 3 is in place of the x, so we look at 3 on the x-axis. 1, 2, 3 would be here, and the point would be right here on my function f of x. Since I already know the x value is 3, I want to figure out what the y value is, and that's 1. So my answer is actually 1 for number 1. 2 is f of 0. So we want to go to where x is 0, which should be right here at the origin. It meets on the function f of x right here at -2, so my answer there would be -2. Number 3 is -5, so we need to go on our x-axis to -5 and figure out where that point would be on our function, and that y value is +3. So my answer there is +3. Number 4 is -2. If I go to -2 on the y, or the x-axis there, my y value there would be 0 because it does not go up or down. And so those would be my answers for the graph. So you just look for the x value that it tells you to and match it to the y value on the function. Thank you for watching, and for more math tutorials, please subscribe to our channel, Friendly Math 101.